Hey, how's it going? This is Josh from Books by Josh, and I want to welcome you to episode 7 of the Books by Josh show. This week's episode is titled Take Little Bites Instead of Big Bites. Before we get started, this is a disclaimer. This episode has nothing to do with eating, even though I do make a reference of eating later on. So, with that out of the way, let's dive in. So, over the past couple of weeks, I've actually spoken to a number of different people in my life regarding their dreams and aspirations. Many of my friends and colleagues have big dreams and aspirations, which is great, except for one thing. Most of them are trying to take big bites rather than other ones. This might seem like a good idea because of the saying, as the saying goes, massive actions make massive results, you know? That's fine and dandy, but there are many more sayings to contradict the saying I just said. Some prime examples are Rome wasn't built in a day. And of course, you have to learn how to crawl before you can walk, or you have to walk before you can run. It means the same thing, you know? So, I know many listeners right now think that this doesn't apply to them at all. Just hear me out. I used to think exactly like you guys did until I started reading biographies of successful people and entrepreneurs. Prime example is Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger. The book took me through all of the phases of Arnold's life, from childhood to adulthood, from being a professional bodybuilder to becoming number one in the sport and then becoming an actor. Also, Sam's Walton's Made in America. Listen, Walmart is big today. It's one of the biggest companies of all time, but it didn't start out that way, guys. So, let's take a look at a normal goal, an average goal, if we can say that, of a person. If you ask a person how successful they want to be in life, most will say, hey, I want to become a millionaire. It's a great aspiration, you know? Who wouldn't want to become a millionaire? But if you follow up the question by asking when they want to become a millionaire, most will say in a couple of years. So unless they're already generating six figures in profits in their income a year, their goal might be too far out of reach. Think about it. If you're making $50,000, $60,000 right now, you say in 3 years I want to be a millionaire. What actions are you taking towards that? You can't just say one day I want to become a millionaire in a couple of years, and guess what? It's not feasible, man. We gotta be realistic with our goals, okay? That's why we need the little bites. So to make it realistic, you have to set short-term goals, aka little bites. What do I mean? So I have this one friend. I seen them raise that want to be a millionaire before they hit 40, you know? And this is a realistic goal because this person, I've seen them grow their income from making 60,000 a year to making over 300,000 a year in the span of a couple of years. So if they continue doing what they've been doing, they're gonna make it. The reason why that person is on track is because they set smaller goals to reach the bigger goal. Okay? They want to be a millionaire, but they have to hit the milestones first, guys. Okay? These little bites serve as a roadmap to our destination, which is success. So many people often fail when they take on just one big bite. Failure ends up discouraging the individual to a point where they just give up. Think about it. You want to succeed so bad, but then you fail that one time and you're like, wow, I can't believe I failed. This is impossible. You know what you do? You give up. Okay? Let me tell you guys a story. So when I entered high school as a freshman, I want to be able to bench press 2 plates on each side, which is 225 pounds. As I entered high school, I could only lift 45 pounds. Okay? So the big goal here, the big bite, is to be able to lift 225 pounds, okay, throughout some point in my high school career. But by just saying that and taking that on, who's to say if I could have done it? So what I did was I took the 225 pounds and I subtracted my current ability, which was 45 pounds, and came to a realization I had to add 180 pounds. I have 4 years to do this, so 180 divided by 4 is 45 pounds. So to be able to reach my goal, I had to be able to bench press 45 pounds more each year. So, freshman year, through working out nonstop, I was able to increase my bench press mats from 45 to 90 pounds to 95, which is 50 pounds more. The only reason I only made it 50 pounds is because I broke both my wrists. So, sophomore year, I worked hard. I got my own bench at home and I worked my plan. I did what I had to do to make my goal, and I was able to increase it from 95 pounds to 165 pounds. Okay, which greatly exceeded my little bite. Then junior year came around, and I was only able to increase my bench press max from 165 to 185. Okay, it's only a 20-pound increase. So you're saying to yourself, hey, did you want to do 45 every year? Yes, that's true. That was my roadmap. But guess what? Because I already knew what I had to be at, I was actually exceeding my goal because according to my calculations, 45 a year, at the end of my third year, I was supposed to do 180, and I was past that by 5 pounds. Okay? Because I already knew that I was alright because I already set these little bites in place. Then, senior year, I didn't really get a chance to test out because I broke my wrist again towards the end of senior year. So I said, you know what? Let me extend it for a little bit. Okay, let me give myself to the end of the year and see what I can do. So my goal was 225. But by the end of that year, I was able to reach 315 pounds on the bench. So for those of you that don't know, 225 plus two more plates is 315, guys. So I was able to add an additional 90 pounds past my goal because I set these little bites. And once I got so close, before I broke my wrist, I was able to do 220, without a problem. Okay, and I was able to. So I said, you know what? Let me see where I can push myself. Because as I reached each milestone, it made me want to do my best, okay? I wasn't satisfied with my big bite anymore. I wanted a bigger bite because all these little bites have satisfied my appetite, so I had a bigger appetite this time. And guess what? It worked, okay? But that's what I'm telling you guys. I did little goals, and these little goals start a snowball effect, guys. Okay? Prime example, another one. Me writing my book. I've talked about this for years. If you know me, I've been wanting to write a book since I was like 13, guys. And it's not until I start snowballing the effect, sitting down and planning stuff out, putting my mind to the paper, working it, guys. Doing little things. I say, hey, let me write 1 page today. Then the next day, you know what? Let me see if I can do 1.25 pages. Then the next day I say, you know what? Let's do 2 pages. You understand? And it just keeps adding up. It's like the stock market, guys. Compound interest. Okay, in the beginning, it's not that much. But as you constantly work the system, it rewards you, okay? So, right now, after the story, and me just rambling on right now, many of you are saying, hey, that story is boring, doesn't apply to me, it's unrelated, all this and that. Let me ask you a question, okay? Have you ever gone to an all-you-can-eat buffet? So right now, 90% of you guys will say yes, of course. Who hasn't? So now, for those who have, let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten your plate, filled it with food, gone to the table, and sat down and said, wow, I got too much food? You look at it, you say, wow, I have too much food. There's no way I can finish this. There's no way I can eat all this. Hey, the same thing happened last week in sushi. We ordered all this food, and we had so much left over. Because we filled up our eyes, guys. Okay? That's what happens when you only take big bites, okay? Our eyes are wide open saying, oh my God, I want to drive a Ferrari. I want to have a Lamborghini. I want to travel this and that. But you can't just walk into a dealership if you're no one and say, I want this Ferrari. Unless you built yourself up from taking these little bites, guys. Okay? You have to space out your food. Okay? Nobody's stopping you from going a couple times. Okay? The buffet's going to stay open while you're there. Okay? It's not you just get one big plate and that's it. No. Space it out, guys. Success takes time. Anything in life takes time. You have to work it. Okay? Maybe you go the first time you get appetizers, Then you go back and you get entree. Then you get a second entree, you know? After that, you get dessert, okay? You don't just pile everything on, because that's how you feel yourself. It's like you don't eat dessert before you eat your dinner, okay? Because you're going to fill yourself up on that. That's the same thing, okay? If you want to build a skyscraper or any building, or even Legos, you can't start from the top. You got to build a foundation, guys. That's what the little bites are, okay? You can't just go whole hard, full throttle from the start, okay? You can't win the race like that. The Taurus in the hair, guys. Slow but steady wins the race. So, guys, in wrapping this up, like I said, the reason I thought about this is because of recent conversations with certain friends of mine and colleagues. Okay? Like anything in my life, if it matters to me, it might matter to you. And that's why I'm doing this episode, guys. So, if you enjoyed this episode of the Books by Josh Show, please feel free to subscribe. If you want more content, feel free to visit my site, booksbyjosh.com. Also, booksbyjosh.com/store to purchase an autographed signed copy with whatever you want to say inside in the dedication from me, Josh. Okay, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at booksbyjosh. If you wish to support me, feel free to visit my Patreon page, which is, of course, patreon.com/booksbyjosh, or buy a book, donate, whatever, guys. And like always, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.